أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to today's lesson. Jazakumullah to all of you for arriving on time. Please make sure that you have all followed the etiquettes of the classroom. You're all in wudu. You have your heads covered appropriately with a scarf, dupatta, or a topi or a cap if you're a tifl. Please make sure you're in a quiet space. There shouldn't be any background noise, TV or other people chatting. And make sure you are ready and concentrating for the lesson. Okay, so in today's lesson, just quickly to show you the agenda, we are going to be doing the rule in focus today will be combining, which I will explain in a moment. We're going to be using the same practice text as yesterday. That's chapter 98, Surat Al-Bayyinah. Okay, chapter 98, and we will be continuing from verses 6 to 9. We'll be looking at our letter of the day, which today is Mim. Okay, and again, we will then summarize and I will assign your homework for tonight until tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Before we begin, if we can start with our prayer, and if we could have, please, a student on the mic for Tuesday's prayer.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Our first student is G2225.
G2225. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. So I'd like you to begin with the opening prayer. Everybody, please remember when you begin, we need to begin with Dawood and Tasmiyah. And whenever you're doing a recitation, it's nice to say it in a nice melodious way. Okay, so if you start with Dawood and Tasmiyah and then the prayer of the day. Off you go.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي زدني علما
ربي زدني علما.
Beautiful. And the translation, please.
Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
Taha, good.
5.
Verse 115. Well done. That's chapter Taha, and the verse is 115. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your participation. Okay. So, Allah Hafiz. Okay, so today's lesson, we are continuing with something we've looked at before. Just a second. Let me share my appropriate screen with you. Here we are. And there we go. Right, so we have looked at before in previous lessons the idea of combining. Okay, combining when you have to combine and what you have to combine. Okay, in Arabic it's called wasl, but we are focusing on the rule of combining. Now, last week you looked at when you have to combine two letters, that means you are joining two letters, but there are letters which are blank, which you need to ignore. Okay. In today's class, we are looking at that same rule, but last week when you looked at combining, you were looking at combining a mutaharik letter, and if you remember, mutaharik letter is a letter with a stroke, with a letter with a sukoon on top, a sakin letter. Okay? Now, in yesterday's class, you looked at mushaddad letters. Now, mushaddad letters are letters with this W shape on top. Okay, and you had spoken about what mushaddad letter means. What do you need to do? It was explained that a mushaddad letter means that you have, it's like having a double letter. Instead of writing the letter twice, you would write it in Arabic once and you put this W shape on top. Okay, a mushaddad letter, which you studied yesterday. Right? Now, today, when we are looking at combining, we are going to be thinking about what we need to do when we see a mushaddad letter. Okay, but all the letters before it are coming up blank. Okay, all the letters before it are coming up blank. So how do we know where to join it to or what to join it to, right? Now, what we can see here is we have a meme here, okay, or a letter with a dhamma on top. That is our mutaharik letter, voweled letter. Remember, a voweled letter is a letter carrying a stroke. In Arabic, we call that a mutaharik letter, a letter carrying a stroke. Okay? Then we have our mushaddad letter. In this example here, it is a mushaddad sad. That means that this sad here with this W mushadda on top, okay, it's like a double sad. So instead of writing the letter sad twice, it's only been written once, but we know it's double because of this sign, shadda. Okay, this is our mushaddad sad. Mushaddad sad. Right? Now, we know from yesterday's class as well that the mushaddad letter has to join to the most recent mutaharik letter, the letter which carries a stroke. Okay? As you can see here, where the arrow is, there is a lam just before the sad. That lam has no stroke on it. So we are not going to join that lam with that sad. There is an alif here. Again, no stroke. No, it is not a mutaharik letter. There is no vowel. Again, another alif, no stroke. This is not a mutaharik letter. And a waw. Again, there is no stroke on the waw. It is not a mutaharik letter. Okay? What we can see is the meme is the most recent mutaharik letter. The most recent mutaharik letter. So you need to join them. You need to make sure that all the other letters in the middle, you don't say them, you ignore them, and you join that meme to the sad. Now, if you remember from yesterday's class, you really need to harden that sad, so it's a double sound. So you say mus. Okay, first you join it. Once you have joined it, then you see which stroke is on top of the sad, and then you make your next sound. So in this example, it would be musso. Musso. If you remember from previous, from your G1 class, you know that this is a thick sound. Sad is a thick letter, so you have to round your mouth to say it. Musso. Hardened. Okay? All these letters in between you ignore. You don't say any of them. Okay? So in this example here, where you can see that the mushaddad letter is a letter which is carrying a shadda, right? In this example, the sad. A mutaharik letter is a letter carrying a stroke. In this example, it is the meme, right? Next, you know now that the mushaddad letter must join to the most recent mutaharik letter. It must join to the most recent mutaharik letter, okay? When you see a mushaddad letter, you have to work backwards until you find your voweled letter, until you find your mutaharik letter. In the previous slide you saw, we noticed the lam doesn't have a stroke, the alif doesn't have a stroke, this alif doesn't have a stroke, this waw doesn't have a stroke. None of these letters are mutaharik letters, okay? They're all blank. So the most recent letter that comes before the sad is this meme with the dhamma on top. You then join those two and you leave any others that are in between. You have to ignore them. Okay? So you say, like I said a second ago, musso. Musso. Okay? And I will cite the whole entire words, or two words I should say for you, because this is combining two words. Okay? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. وأقيموا الصلاة وأقيموا الصلاة. As you can see, I'm hardening on that sound. I'm really pushing on it because it's a double letter. Even though there's only one written, we know it's a double letter. So we have to push down on it. Okay, ignoring all the letters in between, right? So let's just go back now and we're going to just practice some of these sounds. Just a sec, here we go. Here we are, right. So again, we just have here, we have 3 examples, okay, 3 examples of mutaharik letters, which are going to be joining to mushaddad letters, okay, with blank letters in between. So we are going to be combining 2 words and ignoring all of these blank letters in between. Okay, so if I can have a student on the mic and we'll go through these examples.
Yes. Our next student is G2 167.
G2 167. Excellent. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. G2 167, can you hear me? Is the mic working?
No.
Okay.
Okay. G2209.
Assalamu alaikum, G2209. Can you hear me? G2209.
No.
No, okay.
Okay. G2212. G2212. Yeah.
Mic is working?
Oh, accidentally.
I can hear something. G2212. Are we having a problem with the mics today?
He's unmuted, but I can't seem to hear him. Okay. G2202.
G2202.
Strange.
The G2225 that read the dua, their mic was working. So I don't think there's a problem with the system.
Yeah. Let me try another one. G2220.
Oh, here we are. G2220. Yes?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good. How are
Alhamdulillah.
you?
I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. It's very kind of you to ask. Alhamdulillah, I'm feeling well. Are you understanding everything we're doing so far today?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. So what you're going to do with me and for all the other students in the class is we're going to work through this slide and we're going to figure out which is our mushaddad letter, what's our mutaharik letter, and how we're going to join and combine 2 words together, okay?
Okay.
Excellent. Can we start with Dawood and Tasmiyah in a nice, beautiful melody, and then we'll begin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent, Jazakumullah. Okay, so what I want you to do is, we've got this first example here, right? And I want you to tell me which is our mushaddad letter. Can you see a mushaddad letter?
Yes.
Which one is it? Can you tell me?
The noon.
Okay, it looks like a noon. It looks like a noon, but actually it's a dhal. Dhal. Now, the reason we know it's a dhal is because if it was a noon, the dot would be in the middle of the circle, okay, in the middle of this round bump, okay, the dot would be in the middle. This is a dhal, okay, but you are right, this is the one with the shadda, okay? So we've got shadda letter there, mushaddad letter there, mushaddad dhal, right? Now I want you to tell me which is our most recent mutaharik letter. Most recent mutaharik letter.
The scene.
Excellent. And what stroke is on the scene? What stroke is on the scene? What sign is this? Do you remember?
Pesh.
It would be pesh if we were, you may know it as pesh, but we're actually going to refer it as dhamma. Dhamma. Okay? Because we're using the Arabic terms. Well done. Excellent. So you have noticed two things. You've noticed the mushaddad letter, the mutaharik letter, and you've also noticed, by noticing those two things, that there are 4 blank letters in the middle. We are going to ignore all of those, okay? So we're just going to join this scene straight to the dhal. Do you want to have a go at that? Just joining those two. Sud.
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 Well done. Excellent. Now, on this dhal, we also have a kasra underneath. Okay, that's the next sound we are going to make. Suddi.
Suddi.
Excellent.
Suddi.
Beautiful. Well done. But we also have to look at our next letter, which has a sukoon on the top. So the way we're going to say this all together is suddik. Well done. Excellent. Well done. Suddik.
Suddik.
Beautiful. Now we're going to say the whole word together. Okay? Nasudzikra.
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 Very good. Well done. Excellent. So now we're going to go on to this one over here. Can you tell me, we've got two mushaddad letters here, but I want you to tell me the mushaddad letter which comes after this combination of blank letters.
The ra.
The ra. Well done. Excellent. Okay. And go backwards and tell me which is the most recent mutaharik letter.
The ba.
Well done. Excellent. So we would join this ba to this ra and we would say bur.
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 Well done. We then know that this is a double ra. Okay, it's a double ra. There's 2 ra's there. We know that because of this shadda. It's like a double letter. So we have to then look at what stroke is on top to know what sound to make. So we would say burru.
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 Beautiful. Well done. Excellent. We're now going to say all of this combination together. Okay. So again, we have a mushaddad dhal here. So again, we need to double this and make this harder as well. So the first sound would be kazza.
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 Kazza burru sula.
Kazza burru sula.
Beautiful. Now I'm going to say it once more. Kazza burru sula.
Kazza burru sula.
Beautiful. Well done. Excellent. Very good. Now, last one over here. Can you tell me which is our mushaddad letter?
The lam.
The lam. Beautiful. Well done. And which is our most recent mutaharik letter?
The ra.
The ra. So we are going to join the ra to the lam. Okay. And we will say rul.
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 Very good. Now, on top of the lam, we have an ashbaya, which is a vertical fatha. So we have to elongate this sound now for 2 seconds. Rulla.
Rulla.
Okay. Try to make a round mouth when you're saying this for this example. Rulla.
Rulla.
Beautiful. Well done. So we're going to say the whole combination together. That Zakarullah.
Zakarullah.
Very nice. Zakarullah.
Zakarullah.
Beautiful. Very, very good. Excellent. Jazakumullah for your participation. G2220. Well done. Excellent. So we've been looking at how to combine words when there is a mushaddad letter and there are lots of blank letters in the middle, okay? And there is a mutaharik letter that comes before, okay? And that's our rule for today that you need to concentrate on and focus on when we're doing our recitation. So I'm just going to go on and show you what this would look like within the text of the Holy Quran. As you can see, we're going to start here today. Within this first verse, you can see that there are 1, 2, 3 examples of where we need to use this method of combining words because we have a mushaddad letter, we have blank letters which come before it, and we have a mutaharik letter. Okay, so we need to ignore the blank letters, right? Over here again, we have a mushaddad letter, mushaddad lam here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 blank letters which have come before that, and then we have a mutaharik letter. Okay, and again in this example you can see it. We have a mushaddad za. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 blank letters which we're going to ignore, and then we have a mutaharik letter with a ta, with a dhamma. Right? So this is something we do need to be careful of because it does come a lot in the Holy Quran. We will see these combinations a lot. We will see blank letters a lot. And we need to know that we just need to ignore them when we are doing this kind of combination. Okay? So in this first verse that I'm about to recite to you, I want you to pay a lot of attention to this particular rule, but also you need to be mindful of all the previous rules we've learned. Okay? So for example, in this particular verse, we have here, as we're going across, let me show you, we have our letters of mad. Okay, how do we know they're letters of mad? You have a blank alif and you have a mim with a fatha on top. Okay, so you need to elongate this sound. Here you have a waw with a sukoon on top and a ra with a dhamma on top. So you know you need to elongate this sound for 2 seconds at least. We will elongate them slightly longer. We will go over that, why we're doing that in a later class. But you need to know that these are letters of mad. Okay, again, over here we have a letter of mad, a blank alif, and the letter before it has a fatha. That means it is going to be elongated for 2 seconds. Okay, so you need to be mindful of these rules as we go along. Every time we teach you a new rule, that doesn't mean we need to stop thinking about the previous rules that we've learned. Okay, again, ya mad we have here. Reason we know it's a ya mad because it's a ya with a sukoon. The letter before has a kasra underneath. We know we need to elongate this sound for 2 seconds. Si, 2 seconds. Okay, and these are so common within the Holy Quran that we really need to learn how to recognize them at this early stage, because this is one of the most common mistakes we make, even as adults, that we don't elongate sounds properly. Okay, so please be mindful of all these different rules as we're going through and we're reciting. Listen to how I'm reciting. Listen to how your colleagues, the other students are reciting, how I'm correcting them if they need correcting. Okay, that will help you to learn. Right? Try to follow along and recite as we go along as well. Okay, so I'm going to just take off these highlights for the moment so that we can begin. Okay, and if we can have our first student for recitation, please.
Yes. Our next student is G2124.
G2124. Assalamu alaikum. We're having some problem with these mics today, discipline in charge.
Yeah.
What's going on? Doesn't seem to be working.
G2202.
G2202. Would you want to unmute a random student and just make sure that everybody can hear us okay?
Okay. G2115.
Tamika.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Yeah, and you can see the screen and everything okay as well?
Yes.
Excellent. Is it okay, discipline in charge, to have this student on the mic now? G2115?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Excellent. Okay, excellent. So, do you understand the rule you've just been through?
Yes.
Excellent, good. It will come with time. Don't worry, even if you don't understand, it's okay. We'll work through it and we will keep practicing. And every day we're practicing reciting the Holy Quran. We're gaining blessings for that and we're getting better in our recitation as well. So if we can start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, I will then recite the verse and then you can follow me. Okay?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما
Okay, I'm going to recite
أمروا
I'm going to recite first and then you follow me, okay? I'm just going to recite first up to here and then you can follow.
Okay.
وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. Okay.
وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين.
Very nice. Excellent. Right. We're going to go through it once more. And what I want you to be careful of is just making sure that for these two here, for here and here, we haven't been over this rule yet, but you have to elongate this for at least 3 seconds. Okay. And we will cover these rules in more detail, but just 3 seconds here. Okay. وَمَا أُمِرُوا. Just a sec. When people put their students, when you put your hands up, what happens is something comes in front of my screen and I can't see the text of the Holy Quran. So can you please keep your hands down and your videos down, because otherwise it blocks my view of the text and then I can't recite with the student on the mic. Jazakumullah, everybody. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to start once more. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ.
I can't see on the other side. I can't see the second end properly.
You can't see the second?
Because
Is there something?
I can't see it properly.
Where can you not see? You can't see this part that I'm highlighting?
Oh, now I can see.
Excellent, good. Okay. Excellent. So start from here.
وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ.
Very nice. Very, very well read. You elongated here properly, elongated here properly. That was really good. You made sure that you combined these really well, and you didn't say any of the blank letters in the middle either. Well done. Make sure with your sod, it's a thick sound. So soy. Make sure your mouth is rounded there. Okay, it's one of our thick sounds. That was really good. Well done. Okay, we're going to carry on from here. حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة.
حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة.
Beautiful, really, really good. Excellent. You really tried hard there. Well done. We're going to break this down a little bit because there are a few points where you weren't elongating, which is what we need to work on. So we're going to slow it down a little bit. Okay. حنفاء وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
Okay, so here we have a what? Do you remember what this is? This is a ya mad. Okay, ya mad. Ya mad means that you need to elongate this sound that comes before because there is a qasra underneath this qaf. So it would be wa yuqimu, right? 2 seconds.
وَيُقِيمُ.
Brilliant. Wa yuqimu.
وَيُقِيمُ.
Good. So remember, qaf is a thick sound, so round mouth. وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
Good. Well done. Excellent. You need to elongate this for 2 seconds as well. Vertical fatha. Right? So we're going to say that from the beginning once more. حُنَفَاءَ وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
حُنَفَاءَ وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
وَيُقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.
Excellent, much better, well done. So you need to really make sure you're concentrating on those elongated sounds, okay? Well done. We're going to start from here now. وَيُؤْتُ الزَّكَاةَ.
وَيُؤْتُ الزَّكَاةَ.
Well done. Again, you elongated there. That was really good. وَيُؤْتُ الزَّكَاةَ.
وَيُؤْتُ الزَّكَاةَ.
وَذَلِكَ
وَذَلِكَ
دِينُ الْقَيِّمَةِ.
دِينُ الْقَيِّمَةِ.
Again, how long do we need to say this for?
2 seconds.
Brilliant. وَذَلِكَ دِينُ الْقَيِّمَةِ.
وَذَلِكَ دِينُ الْقَيِّمَةِ.
قَيِّمَةِ.
قَيِّمَةِ.
Very good. Excellent. So you know all your letters really well, mashallah. All your letter sounds are really good. Concentrate on your thick sound. So, for example, swad is your thick sound, qaf is your thick sound. You need to make a round mouth when you say those sounds, okay? And really, you need to just, your melody was beautiful. Just need to slow it down a little bit so that you can really notice when you're elongating for your 2 seconds. Because sometimes when the melody is flowing, you don't realize that you haven't elongated properly. We need to know the difference between this, for example, which is a simple li, and this here. So this is a simple li, but this here is di for 2 seconds. Okay, really good. Well done, Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your participation. G2115.
Jazakallah.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, if we can have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2172.
G2172. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, G2172?
Yes.
Excellent. Finally, we've got some students that mics are working. Brilliant. So we're going to start from here. You start with Dawood and Tasmiya, and then I'll recite, and then you can recite after me. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So start with Dawood and Tasmiya.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent. إن الذين كفروا. Good. إن الذين كفروا. Well done. Excellent. من أهل الكتاب.
من أهل الكتاب.
Excellent. Good. Now, what I want to ask you for a second here is this letter here, is this one of our throat letters or not?
Yes.
It is. Well done. Excellent. Let me just remind you all here. Letters of the throat. Okay. So the alif is one of our throat letters. Where in the throat does this sound come from?
In the top.
Okay. If you look down, that gives you a clue. Where does this sound come from?
Middle.
Would this be the middle, do you think?
No.
Okay. So these two sounds here would be our top of the throat sounds, your ghain and your kha. These two sounds here would be our middle of the throat sounds, our ayn and ha. And then these three at the bottom, these sounds come from the bottom of our throat. Okay? Alif, which is a sound, hamza, which is also a sound, and ha. Okay, here. So alif comes from the bottom of our throat. Okay, and all of you need to make sure you know where these sounds come from in the throat. Okay, so you've got 7 letters here, which are letters of the throat. And alif comes from the bottom of our throat. Now, this is important because when you have a nun sakin that comes before a throat letter, you will say a clear nun sound. So as you heard in my recitation, I said min ahli. Okay? Min ahli. And any letters, any sounds that come from the throat, you will always say a clear noon sound if you have a noon sakin there coming before it. Okay, so min ahlil kitabi. If you repeat that.
Min ahlil kitabi.
Very good, well done. Okay, we're going to start again from the beginning. Innal ladhina kafaru min ahlil kitabi.
الذين كفروا للكتاب
من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار. Good. والمشركين في نار. جهنم. جهنم خالدين فيها. Good. Again, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. We've got a ya mad and an alif mad here. Okay, 2 seconds each. Now, I'm going to recite this section from here to here. Okay, so just listen carefully. All right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها. Okay, it's quite long. It's quite a long a verse which needs to be recited. We do need to sometimes stop in the middle to take breaths. Okay, but that's how we need to make sure that we're flowing and practicing. Okay, so that we can say the whole thing together. Let's try this next part here. Ulaika. Okay, we need to elongate this slightly longer. Ulaika. Hum sharrul bariyah. Okay, I think something happened to the sound. Just once more. Hum sharrul bariyah. Okay, we're going to try this whole section together. Ulaika أولئك هم شر البرية.
أولئك هم شر
برية.
برية.
Good. I think there's a bit of an echo, so I'm finding it a bit difficult to, it sounded like you were elongating here at the beginning, but it's probably just the echo. So we're just going to say it once more. أولئك هم شر البرية.
أولئك هم شر برية.
Very good. Excellent. Well done. So just keep practicing. Try and say it as much as you can together in a flow. Okay, and keep practicing and making sure that you're saying all the sounds correctly, concentrating on things like, for example, if you have a nun sakin or a tanween, you have to see what the next letter is, because that will tell you how to pronounce that nun. Okay, well done.
Okay.
Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, so let me just stop there for a moment. Okay, so I've just been over again our letters of the throat. We've done them all. We did them all in week one. So please, all of you, make sure you know those letters of the throat, where they come from in the throat. In today's class, we're doing one letter only today, which is our new letter for the day, which is Meme. Okay, now this letter you will know as Meme. The proper name for this letter has to be pronounced for 5 seconds. Okay, so that would be Meme. Meme. Okay, now, as you can see, a meme has no dots on it at all. The sound comes from the dry portion of the lips, where they meet with a slight pressure. So the front of, if you put your finger just on your lips, right at the front, not inside your mouth, on the outside part, the dry part of your lips, that's where the sound comes from. Meme. Okay. If a meme is at the beginning of a word, you can see it looks like this. You can still have a hole in the center, like a little circle with a line coming down. If it's in the middle, it often looks like a blob, like this, which comes slightly underneath the line, which can be filled up. Okay, as you can see, it can join to the next letter. It can also join to the previous letter. Okay, so this is the first form. This is your second form in the middle, and your final form of a meme at the end, like that. So it would be the whole shape. Okay, so it's not a difficult one, but sometimes this medial meme, the meme that comes in the middle, can be a little bit confusing. So you just need to concentrate and think carefully, is that a meme or not? So let me just show you in the text. Like I said, there's no dots. It can join on both sides, before it and after another letter. Okay, so in the text over here, if we look, we have in the next verse that we're going to say, this is a meme at the beginning. Okay, as you can see a slight circle in the middle there. This is a meme in the middle. It can look like this. Now, sometimes people do get confused with a meme and a vowel, but with the vowel here, you can see there's a line underneath, so you don't need to worry about that. This is what the meme would look like in the middle. Okay, and at the end, it takes the full form like that. Now, sometimes in the text of the Holy Quran, the meme is slightly different. So I'm just going to show you an example so you will recognize that. Over here the meme is written in a slightly different way, but it's still a meme. So sometimes in the text of the Quran, you will see a meme written in this form here, okay, with a slightly longer leg coming down. Okay, but you need to recognize that is also the same letter. It is a meme. Okay, so it's just the one letter today, which you'll need to know and recognize. Okay, and you need to just recognize that they may be written in this form here. Okay, which is slightly different from how we normally see it, which is written like that. Okay, right, so we're going to continue now with our recitation. So if we can have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2222.
G2222. Can you hear me?
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good.
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. Okay, so we're going to begin from here. If we start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah, then I will recite and then you can recite after me.
Okay. Innal
A'udhu billah. You have to start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah first, and then I will recite, okay?
billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Excellent. Innalladhina amanu wa amilus solihati ulaika hum khairul bariyah. Okay.
Innallazina amanu wa amilus salihati ulaika hum khairul bariyah.
Very nice. Excellent. Well done. Now, I'm going to break it down a little bit. Noon shadda here, we're going to hold on that sound for 2 seconds and make a nasal sound, okay? Innalladhina.
Innallazina amanu wa amilus salihati ulaika hum khairul bariyah.
Very nice. Excellent. Excellent recitation. Well done. I really like the way that you elongated here. You made really, really good elongation there. Can you just say this letter for me once? The. Now, when you're saying this letter, we haven't looked at in detail yet, but you need to say a the sound, not a z. There's no buzzing sound here. The. So say the word the, like the cat. The, right? So you're making the sound. That's the sound we need to hear. There shouldn't be a z sound here. So it's the. Very good. Well done. So once more from here. Innalladhina amanu wa amilus solihati ulaika hum khairul bariyah.
Innallazina amanu wa amilus salihati ulaika hum khairul bariyah.
Very nice. Where is this sound coming from here?
Your throat.
Good. Which part of the throat?
The back of your throat.
The back. Well done. It's coming from the middle of your throat. Okay, middle of your throat. Ha. If you put your fingers on your throat, you can feel where the sound comes from. Ha. Okay? Ha. So we need to be careful that this should sound different from this, which is who, which is coming from the bottom of your throat. So this is ha, 2 seconds, who. Right? So we need to make a differentiation. That means we need to hear a difference when you are saying these two letters. They're both letters of the throat, but this one comes from the middle and this one comes from the bottom. So it sounds a little bit softer. Okay? Really, really good recitation. Well done. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your help.
Allah.
Allah Hafiz. Okay, if we could have our next student, please.
Yes, our next student is G2
Assalamu alaikum. G2183, can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. And you?
I'm very well, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah for asking. So if we start with Tawud and Tasmiyah, I will begin and then you can follow me afterwards.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Beautiful, very, very lovely melody there. Well done. Before we begin, just 3 things I want to ask you. Here we have a nun sakin, okay, The next letter is what?
Zal.
Dal. Dal. Good. So this is a dal. Is a dal a letter of the throat?
No.
No. Well done. Excellent. Wasn't a trick question. It's not a letter of the throat. So when we say this sound, we will hold on the noon, okay, and make a nasal sound. So in the. Okay.
And
Well done. Excellent. Now, again, we have here a tanween. Okay. Okay. Noon with a tanween. Now, the next letter is a ta. Right? Is that a letter of the throat?
no.
No. Excellent. Well done. So again, when we make this sound here, it will be nin,
Minhum.
nin. Okay. So you make a nasal sound there. Again, here. Noon. Next letter again. Ta. We will say min,
Min.
min tahti.
Min tahti.
Okay. And over here, what about this letter here? Sorry, there's a little bit of noise in the background. I can't really hear you. Okay. So this letter here, okay, we have a noon sakin and the next letter is a ha. Is this a letter of the throat?
No.
Think carefully, ha.
Yeah.
It is, well done. We go back to here. Ha is a letter of the throat, okay? So when we will say this here, we will make a clear noon sound. So it'll be an, ha, okay? Clear noon sound. Very good, well done. So this is something you all need to be very careful with. If it is a letter of the throat, we need to make a clear noon sound, okay? So I'm going to recite from the beginning to here, and I want you to then recite after me, okay? Just a second, let me do this. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا. From here.
جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا.
Beautiful, lovely recitation. Excellent. Well done. Can you just recite from here till the end for me, please? Till here.
تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا.
Beautiful. Very good. There was you took a really big breath there. You tried to recite it really all in one breath, which was really, really good. Well done. That was really good effort. You said your sounds really well. When I asked you to do that second time, the reason I asked because I wanted to hear this sound properly, that you made this sound clearly, and you also elongated your ha from your throat there. That was really good. The second time you did it, slightly less time you spent on that, but I think that was just because you were running out of breath. That was really, really lovely recitation. Well done. Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help. G2183, well done. Okay. If we could have one more student, please.
Yes, G2231.
G2231. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Fine.
Alhamdulillah, excellent. If we start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, and then we'll recite from here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Radiyallahu anhum wa radu an.
رضي الله عنه ورضوا Han.
Very good effort, excellent. Now, the reason I underlined this is because this does look a bit different. This is an, and then this is a ha and a meme, hum, hum. Remember, ha is this ha here is a letter of the throat, comes from the bottom of our throat, ha, right? So here we will say a clear noon sound, okay, hum. It does look different. I know we've not seen this version of ha before, and it's with the new version of meme as well. So I'm just emphasizing that to everybody. Hum, okay?
Anhum.
Radiyallahu anhum waradu an.
Radiyallahu anhu waradu an.
Okay, so anhum, we're not going to hold on that noon sound. Anhum waradu an. Once more.
Radiyallahu anhum waradu an.
Waradu. Remember, this is a waw madda, so you need to elongate that sound for 2 seconds. Waradu an.
Waradu an.
Well done. Okay. ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ خَشِيَ رَبَّهُ.
Dhalika liman khasi ya Rabba.
Very good effort. Excellent. So 2 seconds here. Okay. ذَلِكَ.
Dhalika
Good. Liman. Now, how do I know that I need to say a clear noon sound? Because I've looked at the next letter, which is a kha. It's a letter of the throat, which means this noon has to be said clearly. Liman. Good. Dhalika liman khashiya.
Dhalika liman khashiya.
Good. And we're not going to hold too long, just very clear. Liman khashiya rabbah.
Liman khashiya Rabba.
Good. Dhalika liman khashiya rabbah.
Dhalika liman khashiya Rabba.
Beautiful. Well done. Really, really nice. G2231. Well done. Jazakumullah for your help and your participation. Really good effort from all of the participants today, from all of you at home for being in class and taking part. Quickly, just to sum up, we have looked today at combining mutaharrik letters with mushaddad letters. So you need to look out for the blank letters in between and make sure you ignore them. Your homework today is to practice Surah Al-Bayyinah, verses 6 to 9, which we looked at today. Apply all the rules you know and use your own PDF or your own Quran Majid. Please be careful and make sure you focus on the mushaddad letter and which mutaharrik letter comes before. And please also practice your letter of the day. You can either trace with your finger over the letter or write it out. It is today Mim. 5 seconds. Remember, there's no dot. It can join to the previous letter. It can join to the next letter. And it is said with the dry portion of the lips, which meet with light pressure. Okay? Well done. Excellent. Let me just end with our final prayer for today. So if everybody can please follow at home. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم. Oh Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran the Great. Jazakumullah to everybody. Inshallah, we will see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.